So I have a couple of favorites that I like to use when I'm doing analog planning. So analog, very old-fashioned paper version, which I like too because I retain information better if I write it. I have another very good one for work, but I don't have it with me here. I can share it though with you. But one of my favorite methods is Happy Planner. And Happy Planners are planners that essentially come in these like cool ring type of solutions. They have different sizes. These are kind of the classic sizes. Usually a Happy Planner has these plastic covers. They have different designs. This is last year's, this is this year's. But because I'm fancy, obviously, so I got this like specific covers that you can also buy on their website. But how this works is that you can add and take things away because, you know, the papers can just, you know, you can add them, you can't take hold of this, and you can put them back together. So what is really cool about this is that you can make the planner work for you, depending on how you like to plan. And that for me is very important because I'm very particular about how I like things, very opinionated. So if they're not my way, I don't like it. So anyways, so this I can do to be exactly as I like. And another point that is very cool about these things is that they're kind of like pre-structured planners, but they also have this aspect of bullet journaling where you kind of can create your own combinations. So that works for me. I like that. Plus they come in happy colors, really cool designs, and they have all these wonderful extensions, which I explain about later. But anyhow, so if you're looking to plan and organize for work, and this applies to whatever planner or method you want to use, it's really good to work on your goals. And whether they're monthly or weekly, here they're on a one page. I usually like to organize them like into the different places where they have. But just, you know, you could have stuff like professional transformation or daily exercise routine, budgeting, whatever is like important to you. It's important to write it out because that keeps you focused. So if you're doing for work, think about it maybe on a yearly level. Like, what do you want to achieve in a year? Where do you want to be a year from now? And that's what you know, maybe want to do. And sometimes, you know, here's the thing about goals, and very quickly, I know I'm rambling, but bear with me. Writing down your goals or where you want to be is enough. You don't have to actively like go back and what should I do and break it down and blah, blah, blah. Like for me, just writing things down usually does the trick. It kind of programs your mind subconsciously. And then when you're through that year or when you're through that month or when you're through that week, then you kind of notice that, damn, I actually did that. Like I wrote it down and I did that and I didn't really actively even pay attention to it. Now, if you do actively pay attention to it, better, but you don't necessarily have to. You can just write it down and your mind is already programmed with that. So that's cool. But it's really important to know what you want to get to, what do you want to achieve, what do you want to do, because if you don't know that, none of this organization like kind of makes sense or it doesn't help. So anyways, Happy Planner, you have all these cool little thingies if you want. So there's mine. And then I don't really use these pages. So what is nice about this is that you have like a monthly page. So here I like to write the things that are important this month, and that is actively thinking. So what would make me feel good at the end of this month if I had achieved? What are the major projects I know I need to get done, whether it's because my boss wants to or because I want to do my job in a certain way? And I don't know what kind of work you do, but whatever that is, wherever you want to get to, just write it down. And again, just write it down and you can even forget about it and it probably works. They have different places here, and depends what, if you want to buy one of these, like what layout works for you. But usually they always have a monthly page, and that's where I write what I want to achieve this month. And then what happens here is that you have a monthly view. So you can do here like, okay, my sister is coming to visit, or there's a party, and I'll talk about stickers later. Plan on it. The schools were starting in January for the kids. There was a due date. I didn't fill this up so much. I was pretty busy, but it's kind of fun too. You know, it's a time spending way for me. And then you have a weekly thing. So every Sunday I reorient myself. So let's pull back. These monthly pages, this is like the fun part. This is like dreaming about what I want to achieve. Like, what is the best version of me? Like, this is where I have fun and just let my mind go wild. And this is when I get to. And then when I get to the weekly stuff, now I'm much more detailed. I use this more to organize my personal things, and Happy Planner has different layouts. This one I like because I could use it, for example, morning, afternoon, evening. I could use it for like mommy and then my son and my daughter. So just have like, this week I did that. So this was like my son's row and this was my daughter's row. Or you could do work, personal, health and exercise, or you could do a gratitude one here and then you could do work and personal. Like, you can use these kind of rows the way you want. If you don't like this and you like to actually lay out your schedule, which I don't really recommend on analog, and I'll tell you in a second why, but you have also layouts where you have like times here from 7 to 11 and then you can just plan out your day. You also have a horizontal version where you have Monday here, Tuesday here, Wednesday here, Thursday, Friday, and then you have the weekend, Saturday. So you can buy different layouts if you go to the Happy Planner side, and it, whatever works for you. And sometimes it takes a bit to figure out. So sometimes I buy one and I'm like, I don't like it, I'll buy a new one, and that's fine too. So here you could, and I recommend this if you use this for work, is again, like, list out the priorities that you want to achieve, and listing them out keeps you focused. So it's really important. And this is very detailed level. Like, what are the actual tasks I need to get done by the end of this week so that I feel good about, I feel accomplished. I think it has to be obviously something that you can achieve, but just, if I only get these things done, what would they be? And those that you list out. Again, you can like decorate with stickers, which I like a lot, so it looks pretty. And then we get to the next part, which is, I think, the most important thing for the daily planning, or for work planning, is the daily thing. And I have a couple of things for that. So I have this big block of like papers from Happy Planner. And what it has is like your top 3 to-dos, other to-dos, and reminders and notes. That's just one layout. And if that works for you, that's fine. Sometimes I use the layout, sometimes I just scribble on whatever. It's good to do the top 3 though, or kind of like, you could just write out your to-dos that you need to do. I have another layout here, and it's pretty similar. So you have priorities, you have the date, there's something on self-care, which is cool too, and then you have your other to-dos and reminders. Sometimes this today, instead of just putting your to-dos, you can just write out your schedule as well. And then that's fine too. What I really like about daily planning, and why I like this one pretty much, is that on the other side, and you can see here, it has a full page for notes. And what I realize is that it's good to plan one day in the morning when you start your stuff that you need to do. And then during the day, as you're in meetings or as things come up, you take notes. So you work through your list, organized way throughout the day, so you get the things done that you want to get done. And as things come up, you write them down for the next day. If there's simple things that take like 3 minutes or 5 minutes, you can just do them right now. But if they're bigger things, if they're things to remember, if they're things to be organized or thought about, or whatever that is, write them down. And at the end of the day, check out all the to-dos that you didn't do for whatever reason, because life is crazy, and the new stuff. Organize them. So put them to the next day, or just leave it there on the back burner list. But you can keep a running list of the stuff you need to do somewhere organized, and or just move everything to the next day. But the point is, start your day with the planning and end your day with the planning, and don't try to throughout the day add to-dos to your today's list, because that's just chaos and that just rattles you. So just, today was already planned, you're gonna do what it is, unless it's something like super emergency stuff, or like I said, takes a very little time. you don't do it today. You can just then plan it out for the next day. And I know it sounds like, well, am I getting slower, or am I just pushing things more forward? Like you're not kind of doing today, or like you're leaving for tomorrow what you could do today. But it's not also efficient because you already had stuff you needed to do today. So if you just get new stuff there, you're just in the cycle and you never get anything done. So that's why I like these ones, because they have ample notes, and obviously taking notes in meetings and everything is a way to keep yourself engaged too. So that works. Now, the daily planning is actually probably the most important thing for me because it keeps the day running. The weekly, the monthly, it's monthlies for dreaming, yearlies for how to plan the best version of me, and monthlies for kind of dreaming, and weeklies like, okay, what are the concrete things I want to achieve, and daily things are the things that you're actually going to do. If all of these are linked from yearly to monthly to weekly to daily, that's like your ultimate goal. But if not, that's fine too. Sometimes just writing it up helps. Then another cool thing that Happy Planner has that I have is a project. And this is sometimes just to keep smaller kind of entities organized. So maybe within your monthly things or your yearly things, you have actual concrete goals. For example, I'm building for a colleague of mine with our programmers a system that will help her and her team to manage her work. That would be a project, and I will have tasks related to it. I will have weekly kind of goals or things that I want to achieve related to it. But maybe I just want to keep all of that also organized in its own place. And that's why these project goal things are cool, because then you can also go and make sure that all these projects that you have are moving forward because you have all the notes and everything in one place. And this is not super complicated project management. This is not Microsoft project where you're like doing Gantt charts and all of that. This is just simply, okay, subject, what are we trying to achieve? Maybe some planning steps, and you can just draw here a mind map or whatever, which is a great way to like gather your thoughts. There's some action steps list, and then there's due date if you want to do that. And these are just one-sided, so both sides are the same. But if you like to take notes, they also have obviously just empty notes pages. So these are the ones that I have. I like the little dots because it's easier to draw versus, and then you can write and whatever, but they have line ones and whatever. And then I also add these little kind of a middle smaller notes list. These ones I like to use when I'm doing sometimes meal planning, what are we gonna eat this week? I might meal plan here and then write a shopping list for food here. But that's more personal stuff, and I know this was supposed to be focused on work. So that's one way. Something more about the Happy Planner. If we go to the very end, I have here a budgeting extension pack, but they have all kinds of extension packs. Like you can track your faith, your exercise, you can do a meal plan, whatever is important to you. You can put them in the same one. Like in the same planner, or you can have another planner. They have different sizes too. Good thing is that if you want more extensions, you can just take some of these future months away. Like you don't really care about December and February necessarily yet, so you can just take a couple of months away and then just put them in a safe place and add back when they're relevant. And then, once you're in April, maybe you want to take, January, February, March away or something. So you can make more space in the planner. But this is an example of stuff that you can, track. So this is for budget, but they have this for everything. So this would be just like for the month, what was the income, totals, your expenses, savings, accounts, there's a challenge, whatever you want to do. Now, what is maybe potentially the most fun part of the Happy Planner is stickers. They have so many cool stickers, and it's all about being a little kiddo again and just making things, I have so many. And then I'm like, where did my money go? It went into stickers, Happy Planner stickers. So working remotely, super, super relevant. Props for them for keeping up with there's a fitness one. Oh, I love seasonal ones because I'm a seasonal freak. So you have, but they're super nice. So they are meant for the different kind of places in your calendar. So obviously, you know, marking things, but then you see these ones are good for the weekly ones. This one is the size of the box during the week. So I can show you more in detail. So let's take that working remotely one. I'll show you really quickly. Sorry, I'm a mess here. So as you can see, the size of that box is also then reflected in the stickers. So for example, let me find one. Well, let's say this is for the monthly boxes. So when we look at January, like that. So that sticker fits perfectly into that box. And then these ones they fit to the daily boxes if you use that one. So it's pretty cool because it makes it just dope. And then you have all kinds of fun stuff. So again, this is kind of like a way of relaxing because you also process the things and you get oriented. Sometimes just the act of planning makes you feel like you have your shit together, which is super fun because, you know, when you feel like you have your shit together, you end up having your shit together. So that's one method of doing this. It's a lot of like writing down and decoration and all of it. But it's definitely fun if that's what you're into. I have another one that I really think is one of the best standalone planners where you don't have to do any writing yourself inside of it. You just follow kind of the planner's plan. I'll make another video out of that. But this one is right now my favorite. I did want to say something about managing your calendar through here. That really maybe doesn't make any sense because depends on what kind of work you have. But if you have a work where you have meetings, where you have meeting invitations, where you have Zooms and all of that, to be honest, a regular like Google or whatever calendar you like to use online is much better because you have the reminders, you have the links anyways. There's really no point in double managing your daily meetings here. You can write them here though if you want to remember, hey, like I gotta prepare for that meeting or something like that. But in general, I've kind of given up on that. I do sometimes have here like mark these things, but overall I've noticed that it's not necessarily the best way of doing it. So maybe you just want to say, okay, Monday I'm going to have focus time for work. Then here I'm going to do that evening. I don't know, I'm going to work out or go to the movies or whatever you want. So maybe that detailed like schedule and timetable management isn't the best to do in this kind of solution. But anyway, so that's one way of doing it. And I'll send another video of the other method, which is very good too. All right. Thank you for listening. Bye.